I don't care how you get there. I don't care what you do to get there. The goal is to win.
If you say things that are too glowing about LeBron James, what do everyone say? Oh, you work for Clutch, right? So that's what you hear. Or if you go too critical on LeBron James and they say that, hey, you need some context, you need some perspective, you're going to get that phone call from LeBron James's camp. I've been there before multiple times, but it's not a LeBron James story. He's just the biggest name that does this.
You know what's crazy? Kobe Bryant never needed an agency to control the media, never needed a political machine to build his name, never needed to manipulate the draft or hold franchises hostage. And yet, his legacy is still louder than everyone backed by Clutch Sports combined. Let that sink in. If you're tired of the fake narratives and want the real truth about basketball greatness, smash that subscribe button right now. Let's get one thing straight from the jump. Kobe Bryant was never represented by Clutch Sports. He didn't need them. He didn't want them. And he sure as hell didn't build his empire the way they do. While LeBron James was being groomed by Rich Paul and a billion-dollar PR empire, Kobe was in the gym at 4 in the morning, alone. No cameras, no Instagram stories, just him, the ball, and his demons. LeBron's rise? Political, strategic, calculated. Kobe's rise? Obsession, sacrifice, blood. There was no agency manipulating trades for him, no friendly journalists planted in ESPN offices to spin every narrative his way. Kobe didn't have a Shams Charania or a Dave McMenamin getting leaked stories to protect his image. He had Shaquille O'Neal calling him selfish. He had the media calling him a ball hog. He had his own teammates questioning him. And you know what Kobe did? He won anyway. That's the difference. Kobe earned respect. LeBron's circle? They manufacture it. Here's something they don't want you to remember. Kobe Bryant built the Mamba Sports Academy, a place where players from every camp, every team, every agency came to train. You know who trained there? LeBron's own guys, Clutch Sports clients. Think about that. The man who rejected the politics, the man who had no agency controlling his moves, the man who did it his way, still had more influence than the billion-dollar machine trying to run the league today. He didn't need to own anyone. He didn't need to control anyone's career. Players came to him because they wanted to be great, not because they wanted a Nike deal, not because they wanted media protection. They wanted the work, Kyrie Irving once said.
When the student is ready, the teacher will appear, and I had that type of mentorship relationship with him where I was able to ask him almost anything, no matter how nervous I was or how fearful I was. And, he just was easy to approach with those type of questions about what goes on in a day in and day out basis of chasing something that's bigger than yourself. And when you're trying to leave a legacy or leave something of a mark on a game, they're going to come with a lot of sacrifices. There's going to come a lot of hate. There's going to come a lot of love. There's going to come.
And that's the thing about Kobe. He gave you the truth, even when it hurt, even when it wasn't popular. Meanwhile, Clutch Sports, they give you narratives. They plant stories. They control media access. They decide who gets criticized and who gets protected. Shams tweets what Rich Paul tells him to tweet. Dave McMenamin writes what he's allowed to write. That's not journalism. That's propaganda. Kobe earned loyalty from players who played against him, guys who hated losing to him so much they had to learn from him. Dirk Nowitzki, Paul Pierce, Dwyane Wade, Kawhi Leonard. None of them are Clutch clients. All of them respect Kobe more than anyone else. Why? Because Kobe never lied to them. Let's talk philosophy for a second. Kobe rejected the player as brand model. He didn't believe in building a brand first and backing it up later. He believed in mastery first, greatness first. Then the branding comes.
And by year 5 or 6, doesn't matter what kind of work they do in the summer, they're never going to catch up because they're 5 years behind. Right? So it makes sense to get up and start your day early because you can get more work in. If I start earlier, I can train more hours. And I know the other guys aren't doing it because I know what their training schedule is. Right? So I know if I do this consistently over time, the gap's just going to widen and widen and widen and widen and widen, and they won't be able to get that back.
Compare that to today. Different goals. Today's stars come into the league with shoe deals before they play a minute. They have documentaries planned before they win a championship. They have media campaigns designed to make them legends before they earn it. Bronny James got a NIKEDEAL before playing a single NBA game, not because of his skill, not because of his potential, because of his last name. And you know what's even worse? LeBron publicly said he'd only play for a team that drafts Bronny. He hijacked the entire draft process. That's not a legacy. That's a hostage situation.
Because LeBron is the basketball savant. LeBron is one of the top 2 greatest players in the history of the game. LeBron has forgotten more basketball than most people would know. So no matter what we think about Bronny, he knows more. But you see what you see. Bronny James has played in 13 NBA games. Ladies and gentlemen, he's averaging 0.3 points, 0.3 assists, and 0.4 rebounds. He shot 1 for 16 from the field in his NBA career and 0 for 7 from three-point range. And he's playing in the first quarter of an NBA game?
Kobe, he never did that. He never forced teams to cater to him. He never manipulated the league for his family. He competed. And if you couldn't keep up, that was your problem. Even after retirement, Kobe stayed true. LeBron started Spring Hill Entertainment, uninterrupted, The Shop, all designed to control the narrative, to keep his image perfect, to make sure every story about him is positive. Kobe, he started Granity Studios. He made children's books. He focused on creativity, not propaganda. He refused to join LeBron's business ventures. He refused to be part of the media empire. He chose art over politics.
So many guys tell stories about your work ethic.
Yeah.
What was really your work ethic like, and for how long did you stay disciplined?
I mean, every day. I mean, since, for 20 years. I mean, it was an everyday process and trying to figure out strengths and weaknesses. For example, jumping ability. Man, my vertical was a 40, it wasn't a 46 or a 45. My hands are big, but they're not massive, right? So you got to figure out ways to strengthen them so your hands are strong enough to be able to palm a ball and do the things that you need to do. Quickness, I was quick, but not insanely quick. I was fast, but not ridiculously fast, right? So I had to rely on skill a lot more. I had to rely on angles a lot more. I had to study the game a lot more. And, but I enjoyed it though. So like from the time I can remember when I started watching the game, I studied the game and it just never changed.
You can't cheat work ethic with networking. That one line exposes everything wrong with today's game. Players think they can network their way to greatness. They think if they're friends with the right people, control the right media, make the right moves politically, they'll be legends. But Kobe knew better. Greatness doesn't come from WHO, It comes from what you do when nobody's watching. Let's talk super teams. LeBron left Cleveland in 2010 to form a super team in Miami. Then he went back to Cleveland and got Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving. Then he went to LA and got Anthony Davis. Now he's pushing for more. Every move was political. Every move was calculated through clutch sports. Every move was about leverage. Kobe? He forced greatness through competition. He didn't demand Shaq be traded because it was politically convenient. He stayed. He fought. He won without Shaq. He dragged Pau Gasol and Lamar Odom to championships. He made Smush Parker and Kwame Brown look like NBA players. He never asked for a super team. He created greatness around him. That's the difference. Clutch sports stars rely on political leverage. Kobe relied on work. And you know what's wild? After Kobe passed away, players like Kyrie Irving, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Jason Tatum all adopted the Mamba mentality. None of them are clutch clients. None of them play the political game. All of them respect Kobe more than anyone else in modern basketball. That's influence without politics. That's legacy without manipulation. You want to know who Kobe's real students are? Kyrie Irving, Russell Westbrook. Kyrie was Kobe's most devoted student. He studied every move, every footwork detail, every mindset principle, and just like his mentor, he was vilified for not following the system. Kyrie refused to fall in line. He questioned narratives. He made his own decisions, and the media destroyed him for it, just like they tried to destroy Kobe. Russell Westbrook. Kobe praised him for playing with fire, for refusing to back down, for being himself. Kobe said, "Russ plays with passion." That's rare now. People want robots. I love that he stays true to himself. And what happened to Russ? Clutch Sports used him, then let the media burn him alive. They blamed him for everything in LA, made him the scapegoat, then tossed him aside. That's how the machine works. If you don't play their game, they destroy you. Here's what nobody wants to admit. The modern NBA has become less about basketball and more about business deals, less about competition and more about comfort. Players today want guaranteed championships before they even show up. They want their friends on the roster. They want control over coaching decisions. They want veto power on trades. Kobe played in an era where you had to earn everything. You couldn't call your friends and form a super team. You couldn't force your way out of a franchise because things got hard. You had to fight. When Kobe's Lakers were struggling in the mid-2000s, he didn't run. He didn't demand a trade to Boston or Detroit or San Antonio. He stayed. He worked. He elevated everyone around him. And when they finally got Pau Gasol, Kobe didn't just win one championship and relax. He won two, back to back. Because that's what real greatness looks like. Today's stars talk about legacy while switching teams every 2 years. They talk about being the greatest while cherry-picking situations that guarantee success. They talk about loyalty while their agents shop them to the highest bidder behind closed doors. Kobe never played that game. He understood something fundamental that this generation forgot. Your legacy isn't built by what you say. It's built by what you do when the lights are brightest and the pressure is heaviest. Let's be brutally honest about how Clutch Sports operates. They don't just represent players. They control narratives. They manipulate public perception. They decide who gets praised and who gets blamed. When LeBron loses, the media immediately shifts blame to his teammates. When he wins, he gets all the credit. That's not accidental. That's designed. When Kobe lost, the media crucified him, called him selfish, called him a bad teammate, called him a ball hog. And Kobe didn't hide behind an agency to protect his image. He showed up the next season and proved them wrong with rings. That's the difference between manufactured greatness and real greatness. Real greatness doesn't need protection. It doesn't need spin. It doesn't need carefully crafted narratives and planted stories. Kobe's greatness was undeniable because it happened on the court, not in boardrooms or media campaigns. Let's end with this. Michael Jordan made Space Jam after he conquered basketball, after 6 championships, after becoming the undisputed GOAT. LeBron made Space Jam 2 to convince you he did. That's the difference. That's always been the difference. Kobe didn't need movies to tell you he was great. He didn't need documentaries every year reminding you. He didn't need the shop or uninterrupted or planted media stories. His game spoke. His legacy speaks. Kobe Bryant's legacy still trends on social media, still inspires millions, still influences the game, and he's not here to say a single word. Meanwhile, Clutch Sports spends millions to keep LeBron's image alive, millions on media campaigns, millions on narrative control, and it still doesn't hit the same. That's real power. That's real influence. That's real legacy. Kobe Bryant built his empire through work, through sacrifice, through truth. Clutch Sports builds theirs through politics, through media manipulation, through fake greatness. And the difference? It's obvious. One legacy doesn't need defending. It defends itself. The other needs a billion-dollar machine just to stay relevant. If this video opened your eyes, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think, and don't forget to subscribe because we're not done exposing the truth. Mamba out.